So much energy in the world aimed at taking away the features that make cash so powerful. There's a reason why people in countries around the world actually would prefer cash versus mobile money, because it gives them more self-sovereignty. It gives them more economic freedom. And so a lot of the policy and regulatory issues that limit the power of moving money have to do with stripping people of their economic freedoms. And so I think we've grown into a world on the internet where governments, for example, were terrified of the idea that people could use encrypted messaging, that it would strip away their ability to do law enforcement. But now we take it for granted. Everyone can have encrypted messaging. They can have private communication, and there are companies that defend that as a fundamental human right, and it matters to people in for good and for bad. And I think we have to think about solving for these problems by building models that actually provide for forms of digital cash, that have the features that make cash attractive to people. And I think on a global scale, if I can go to a corner store and buy a SIM card and put it in a phone, I can participate in the global internet and have communications and have an identity to communicate. That's possible for pretty much anyone, anywhere. Why can't I take that mobile identity and download a peer-to-peer digital currency wallet? There are hundreds of these today. And now be able to receive something like USDC. And I can receive that at no cost. And I can have a peer-to-peer transaction that is a digital cash transaction and do that and do that globally and interoperably. And so I think that there are models that can make this work. I think policymakers and regulators have to adapt to that, as opposed to trying to get everyone to adapt to their constraints. And you can take a risk-based approach here. Just like a mobile SIM is of certain use, you can take a risk-based approach. And if you start to want to interact with an identity that is doing a larger amount, then you might have other identity requirements that emerge. But we have to preserve digital cash. That has to work on the open internet. It has to work interoperably with anyone, anywhere. We've seen over $3.5 trillion of transactions directly on the internet between counterparties. And so if we can improve it with more scalable blockchain technologies like Brad's company provides, and we can make this extremely low cost